Yo, what's up, everybody? Testing, testing. One, two, three. Everything is good. I've only live streamed once on the new computer, so I just want to make sure you guys have a very good experience. Let me know if there's anything that is off. So I hope that everybody's doing very well. Welcome everybody to my live stream where I'll be hosting every few days to make sure that we're all caught up, to make sure I can help you guys navigate through this perilous journey, especially now that we've broken the all-time high. So congratulations to everybody who's been a part of crypto, who's been a part of this journey, who's been a part of this massive stress that we've all had to endure for a long period of time now. But here we are. Without further ado, Bitcoin is officially above the all-time high. So today we're going to talk about some of the things that we can expect now that we've broken the all-time high, relating to the Bitcoin dominance, relating to the market cap, and just talking about some of the fundamentals so you guys can be best prepared to maximize your profits and especially minimize these downturns and go through this volatile journey, this volatile market, because trust me guys, you're going to see a ton of volatility. So for those that don't know me, welcome. My name is Philakone. I'll keep the intro short. I've been a degenerate day trader and investor for 9 years now in the market. I've seen two major bull markets and two major bear markets. Not only did I survive the bear markets, but I also heavily thrived in the bull markets as well. So with my experience, I can help you guys navigate through this journey and give you the best advice possible. But keep in mind that I'm just, like I mentioned, I hold myself to high standards. I'm just the biggest degenerate day trader and investor in crypto has ever seen. So don't take my advice only. Make sure you guys are being well-rounded. Just for example, if there's 10 people that have to vote on a decision, okay, if you're the 10th person to vote and all 9 people gave an upvote, your job is to make sure that you turn the cheek and also cause controversy and bring up things that are different than the other 9 people. It's just like reading any other news source. You can't just take in one news source publication. You got to look at many different places. Go on Reddit, go look at other YouTubers. I encourage it. Make sure you guys have a well-rounded source of information so you can formulate your own opinion. So welcome everybody. Let's jump right into it. So Bitcoin broke the all-time high now. What are some of the things that we can expect? So today we're going to dive into that. Bitcoin shattered expectations. So the big question is, where are we headed next? So some of you might remember the last bull market, the roller coaster ride of ups and downs, the hype, the speculation, and yeah, the sell-offs too. But this time, it's a whole new era, baby. So let's get into that. Let's talk about some predictions. So Bitcoin's new all-time high isn't just a momentary milestone. Like, it's a signal. It's a wake-up call that's firing up every trader, every investor, and every institution across the globe. Random people that are not even in Bitcoin are messaging me now because, well, it's on the news now. And if you're already thinking about this, now's the time to pay attention. So what could be next? Well, we're looking at institutional adoption. They're going to ramp up even more. Right now, the inflow for spot ETFs are just going crazy. So a lot of the big players like BlackRock, Fidelity, and other giants are making Bitcoin accessible to the masses. We could see Bitcoin become a standard asset in investment portfolios across the world. And with regulatory framework evolving, that floodgate could open even sooner than everyone expects. So congratulations to Donald Trump, the 47th American president. It's a huge milestone for crypto because if the other party won, she would have heavily regulated crypto even more, which could have slowed down the process of adoption. So I'm not going to get into the politics relating or outside of crypto, but we wanted a Trump victory for those that are heavily invested in crypto because he's going to loosen up regulation. It's not going to be regulated nearly as much as well, and he's very pro-crypto. So for the short term, expect some massive volatility first of all. That's just part of the game, especially with new all-time highs. But we could be looking at new support levels forming above the previous all-time high. And if that happens, I can imagine a climb to $100,000. It isn't just a dream for everybody. It's a real target this year. Yeah, I'm saying that $100,000, it could be easily reached this year. But here's what's more exciting than that. the adoption rate for Bitcoin and crypto, it's accelerating faster than even the internet when it first began. So just think about that. More use cases, more DeFi, more global access. And with Bitcoin leading the way, the world is changing right in front of us. So you should be extremely excited to be a part of this. I remember in 2015 when I first got into it, Bitcoin was like 150 bucks. I wish I bought way more. Obviously, I didn't know, but I'm one of the people that got into Ethereum at like $1. So even though that crazy phase is now over, we're still seeing some massive potential for some massive gains. So if you can do me a favor, this is what you're gonna do, and this is what I'm gonna ask from you. You guys need to buckle your asses down, sit down for November, December, January, February, March, April, all the way till the end of the next bull market. Because this 1 year of work that you put into working with crypto, maybe day trading, maybe investing and taking care of your portfolio as well, it could very well change your life even more. 1 year of hard work is all I ask of you, and I promise you, you're gonna thank me one day in the future. So if you're ready for this new era, guys, and wanna stay updated, don't forget to subscribe and like my channel as well. We're gonna be tracking Bitcoin's progress. We're gonna navigate the highs and the lows and giving you the latest updates. So guys, let's get into some of the technical analysis now that you guys know about some of the fundamentals that we're gonna be getting into, okay? And by the way, guys, for the month of November, I'm taking on one more investor. So one more client as my investor. Okay, guys? I'm gonna try to say that again. Okay, I manage 25 portfolios right now for clients, and I'm looking to get one more person because I now have a little bit more time. So I'm gonna help you guys navigate through this bull market if you have a fairly sizable portfolio. My minimum portfolio requirement is $250,000. So if you're looking for somebody that can help you with portfolio construction, talking about entry and DCA strategies, diversification, risk management, especially exit strategies, you're welcome to DM me and I can tell you a lot more about it. So guys, congratulations once again. Looking at this chart, I was extremely happy waking up. So the day that Bitcoin started pumping was during the presidential election. Let's jump right into the charts. So on the actual close of that day, guys, on November the 5th, that was just beautiful, wasn't it? When basically the elections were counted and the ballots were coming in, Trump was starting to lead. People were expecting, based off of early polls, for him to actually be the president. And that's exactly what happened leading up into Q4. I hate to say this, guys, but say my 3 favorite words. It's Philakone was right. I called a very bullish Q4. I was recommending to everybody to DCA. So this is my advice from a non-financial perspective to everybody in crypto right now. Because Bitcoin has broken above the all-time high, you need to position yourself accordingly before the altcoin season officially begins, and especially after a break of the all-time high. And your best friend is not only going to be buying on dips, but it's also going to be buying with dollar cost averaging as well. Because DCA, it's gonna prevent you from trying to time these dips that may never come. Not only that, you guys need to hold incredibly strong and come up with specific exit strategies that's going to help you time maximizing your profits and getting out of the market. Because the number one mistake that everybody makes is going to be this: they end up holding too long. They don't know when to exit. It's really easy to see those profits, but it's just as easy to see all those profits slip away because they didn't get out on time. Then that's why you guys follow me, all right? So let's summarize everything that has happened with Bitcoin so far. Bitcoin reached the bottom in about the end of 2022, okay? That's crazy that Bitcoin was $15,000 back then, and nobody's buying Bitcoin. Like literally nobody's buying Bitcoin really at 15K. But now all of a sudden Bitcoin's 75K, people are lining up to buy it. And I'm telling you, the liquidity is drying up. The supply is drying up. The demand is just going crazy right now. So just imagine this concept for a second, guys, where you know, Vanguard, BlackRock, they're secretly buying these spot ETFs, like in the background with like IOUs. It's like, yeah, you'll give it to me at like 60K, at 50K, but we're gonna let it affect the market later with an IOU. So right now with the Dow theory, this is basically the accumulation phase that we just finished. And I believe that the frenzy phase is going to start soon. And now that all of these institutions are in a huge position, they're finally going to let the retail investors join. And how are they going to do that? They're going to make a huge spot buy where it's going to impact the market significantly, driving up the price. This way, people like you and I who are just following the trend, we're probably going to end up chasing that trend. People that are seeing it in the news, they're going to end up buying it. Your taxi driver, your barber, your grocery store clerk, the guy that you walk by past the street, he's going to be like, they're going to be like, okay, I heard about Bitcoin, I'm going to get in now. And then the frenzy really begins now that these institutions are now very well positioned. So your job is to stay more informed than the majority of people. Otherwise, you're going to be that typical person that hears about it after everything has already happened. That's why you guys follow me, all right? So I believe that Bitcoin is about to make some ridiculous parabolic moves to the upside. This trend right here that you're seeing, it held for about 215 days, okay? A very long time. We finally broke out of it, and this was very significant to understand how Dragonfly dojis and hammer candles play a significant role in a bounce. So do you guys see the last, like this one right there, the Dragonfly doji? What happened after? It created a massive green candle that broke out of the trend. Now I'm going to show you guys something called the volatility indicator. That's incredibly important to understand how it works. So the volatility indicator is, and it uses the ATR, the average true range, and it measures the volatility rather than, for example, an EMA or SMA that takes the average of the prices and then makes a line. The volatility indicator, in my opinion, is a lot better than it to gauge the volatility of a market rather than just the average prices. So you can see that in previous bull markets before, check out what happened. There have been multiple times where it breaks from green to red. So for example, if we were to look at after we reached the bottom in like 2016 or so, you can see periods where it goes from green to red. So green obviously means bullish volatility, red means bearish volatility, or it means that the bullish volatility has broken. So you're seeing right here that it breaks again. You're seeing right here that it breaks again. So that's in 2017's bull market. You're also going to see after the 2019 dip over here, we ended up getting more like that as well, where it changes. So it changes from red to green to red. And check out what happened just now, guys. And by the way, after it changes to green, it doesn't mean that there won't be any more dips, right? So it's red, and then it changes to green. It can still mean that there is going to be dips, but the point is the volatility has changed entirely. So this week, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a very critical week for how Bitcoin is going to trend. And the reason for that is because ever since the beginning of the bull run it began, we were trending green the whole time. But for a few short weeks over here, for about 8 weeks, we trended red. But guess what, guys? This green little line, it shows its beautiful head once again. And you know what that means? It means that if we close this week bullishly in 3 days and 15 hours, that Bitcoin will now officially be in a very bullish volatility again, which means that $100,000 will be nothing to reach by the end of the year. So I'm incredibly excited to be confident about the fact that Bitcoin could easily hit $100,000 this year. Not only that, if we take a look at the volatility on the 4-day chart as well, we're seeing that it's smashing this resistance. On the weekly, this was very significant, okay? This see this red line? It's right at around $74,000. So if we can stay above $74,000 for the rest of the week, so 3 days, 15 hours more, this is going to be a crazy time for Bitcoin. So let's take a look at some of the altcoin markets and also the total dominant or the market dominance as well for BTC. So we can see that the dominance is actually still around 60%. So there was a small sell-off, okay, very recently, but if we analyze the past trends of how Bitcoin was behaving, we can see that 72% is a very good number to be at before sell-offs happen. And for those that are unaware, check out this, okay? let's talk about the total 3 market cap relative to the Bitcoin dominance. So right in here, this is where altcoin seasons began on the right side. Right over here is where Bitcoin's dominance, if you notice, it ends up tanking to the downside. It's because some people are taking their profits out of Bitcoin and then they're starting to inject it into the altcoins. And that's how altcoin season begin. You're gonna see Bitcoin dominance. Like for example, this period over here that I'm highlighting, Bitcoin's dominance was literally between 40 and 49. But even though the Bitcoin dominance was low, Bitcoin's price still went up to a massive amount, if we remember that, right? But right here, even though it was low, you can see that the altcoin season officially kicked off and it ended up doing about 190%. So the main goal is to try to profit from some of the bigger coins, first of all, like the top 10 coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. And then once that Bitcoin dominance drops, you're gonna see me cash out a significant amount of my Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum, and then start to inject it into the heavily performing coins. And we don't know which ones these will be yet, but time will tell. But we want to make sure that we follow the trend of what altcoins are incredibly hot, and especially what new coins are now emerging, because there's no doubt that early in the years, 2025, there's going to be many new coins that will emerge that we will want to get into. So right now, I predict that it's going to be a very good time for altcoins, and even a better time for you to start dollar cost averaging as well. So my portfolio went up a significant amount, over 11% in the past 36 hours, ever since the Trump election or the presidential election, when the ballots were being counted. So if you take a look at any altcoin right now, okay? For example, one of my #1 picks is Polkadot. And the reason why, I'm not going to get into the fundamental side of it, but basically it's the best interoperability coin out there. Not only that, there's the 3rd most amount of developers in Polkadot, and it only saw one bull market so far. It's got a huge market cap of, I believe, 7 billion. It's ranked like I forgot what rank, like maybe 14 or something like that on coin market cap. It's a giant. But one thing that you're gonna notice, okay, is right here. It's actually ranked 17 with a $6 billion market cap. What you're gonna notice is this on the weekly chart. It is at a major support level right now. It's only gonna go up from here because Bitcoin is also going up. So but my point is that if you look at on a high time frame, like a monthly chart, all that you're gonna see is a gigantic drawdown. For example, this is my portfolio picks. You guys can take a screenshot if you want. If you take a look at the monthly, even though it's only a few days in, it's forming some beautiful candles. Like Near is at a great support point in my opinion. Solana is on pace to smash the all-time high this year. And keep in mind that Ethereum is great. It's #1 layer 1 coins. Developers love it as well, right? Most developed apps on the platform as well. But remember that Ethereum is very slow, and Ethereum is also very expensive. Solana has solved many of their outage issues. They are cheaper, they are faster, they are becoming a heavy contender right now. What is Solana ranked? Let me just double check this. Solana is now ranked #4, guys, at $89 billion. They are a powerhouse. I think that if you were to put Ethereum and Solana side by side, Solana is going to have some much greater ROIs than Ethereum. That's my opinion because it's a smaller market cap, and not only that, it's got more potential as well to be a competitor for Ethereum. So if you take a look at it, there's no doubt in my mind that if Bitcoin goes to like 100, 150K, that Solana is going to smash it. And you also have to have some layer 2s as well. Matic, currently rebranded to Polygon, is still going to be a great option. And I also carry things like Manta as well that have done monstrous gains. So every coin has moved up like 30, 40%. I carry Jupiter as well. So Jupiter, I don't carry a significant amount. But if you look at these newer coins that are emerging with large market caps that are blue chips, they have tons of potential. So Jupiter right now is ranked 58 at $1.03 billion and is such a new coin. And as we know, a lot of these newer coins in a bull market, they end up just making massive all-time highs. And then if you look at Injective, right, that's a coin. You got to be in DeFi as well. I don't think that injective is going to drop below this particular support. It's been there for too long. We've seen these types of patterns before where they formulate a huge support over a long period of time, and then Bitcoin breaks to an all-time high, and then it just eventually ends up following it. I'm also heavily invested in gaming sector as well, but I don't invest in the games themselves. Like for example, Shrapnel or Big Time or Heroes of Mavia. I don't invest in those games specifically. And the reason for that is because when you compare it to actual consoles, consoles are, those AAA rated games. For example, they have a longer timeline to develop the games. They also have much larger budgets as well. Whereas crypto, we're talking about a fraction of the budget for the game and a fraction of the timeline. So I'd rather not invest in the game themselves. So that's why I choose to invest in the gaming infrastructure component of that. But you can always see it like a pyramid, right? Think of it like a pyramid, okay? Literally a pyramid. And on the bottom, you're gonna have the infrastructure that's gonna weigh much more heavily and take more weight. Then at the top of the pyramid, you're gonna have some small games where you'll have like 0.5%, 1% of your portfolio that'll be diversified across these games themselves that are on top of the infrastructure. So it's always strategic to diversify accordingly and have many eggs in your basket rather than just taking one or two coins and saying, yep, I'm just gonna buy Ethereum, yep, I'm just gonna buy Bitcoin. So when you're investing, guys, you have to think about it from the perspective of risk. 0 to 100. 0 is very low risk, but also low potential for profit. You're not going to make a lot if you're at 0, but it's not as risky. What would be considered 0 risk? In my opinion, Bitcoin. Like I'm talking about on the slide, of course there's still risk, but I meant very, very low risk. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. Like if you're buying only those coins, your risk will be like closer to 0, right? But your potential for reward may not be that high in terms of ROI. But let's say now you're moving to the 100 scale. Now you're like, all right, I'm gonna take on more risk because I have the potential for a massive reward in terms of ROI. So if you were investing in the more 100 side, you'd probably be looking at some like basically meme coins, or you'd be looking at like top 1,000 coins, like ranked really low market cap coins that are newly emerging because you want to get that shot in the dark. You want to throw spaghetti on the wall and see which ones end up sticking. You want to throw that football across the field, way across the field, and hope that someone catches it, something like that, right? So you're taking on more risk. The potential for an ROI, it's huge. You can make huge ROIs, but man, it's so risky that you could lose everything. You know what I mean? So your job as an investor is to decide where you are allocated, where your risk tolerance lies. And it's also going to depend on your portfolio as well. So for example, if you have like $100,000, you're gonna take on probably a little bit more risk than somebody who has like $5 million. Somebody with $5 million, he probably doesn't care as much about the big percentage gains because he or she might want to focus on something like only Bitcoin or only Ethereum and not be too heavily diversified into crap coins. Because if you have a bigger number, the percentage, you don't need that big of a percentage to also make a big number, right? Whereas if you have like 50,000 or 10,000, your risk tolerance from the 0 to 100 scale, it might be somewhere like 50 to 70, right? Personally, myself, my risk tolerance is between about 30 to 50 because I hold a combination of 50% between Bitcoin and Ethereum. In fact, I hold 35% of my portfolio in Bitcoin and 15% alone for Ethereum. And then Solana makes up about 5 to 10% right now. So make sure you guys are understanding where you place with your risk tolerance because that's going to decide ultimately how you're going to invest. So right now, just going back to a lot of these coins, okay? So IMX, for example, I think that IMX, like I've been looking at this guy. This is actually my least performing coin right now. It's not doing the best. It actually hasn't really moved up compared to a lot of other coins. Who knows? There might even be a chance to get to this range. If it does, I'm all in. Superverse is on pace, guys. If you don't know about Superverse, you need to get in it. Like you need to look at Superverse, guys. They are gutting for the top 100, okay? Superverse right now is a 662 market cap coin and they're ranked 106, okay? And they're literally gonna be on pace to be a top 100 coin very, very soon. So, and not only that, it's been one of the best performing coins ever since July. Superverse has done 273%. I'm huge into Superverse, and for those that don't know, time to consider it. So Tia recently had like their fully diluted market, or sorry, their coins, $1 billion of in coins of Tia was released on the market. Everybody started dumping it, but guess what? Prior to their release, the coin actually shot up even more, which is phenomenal because there was a major recovery already. So I'm heavily into the AI side as well, with like FET, with Render, with Tau, with ARC-M, guys. ARC-M is one of my #1 performing picks as well, where this guy did like 30-40%. It's just a massive pick. And then of course the other coins like CAS and then Ondo as well, right? Ondo is trying to bridge real world assets, and they are like, look at their recovery. It ended up doing 31%. So I think I'm gonna end the video here because I can talk forever about crypto, guys. And unfortunately, we got to get back to day trading with the private elite group. For those that don't know, guys, there's only 2 slots left to join my private elite Discord trading group. Yesterday, I was calling it for Nero all day, made $2,400 on it, which was great. You guys get a chance to come trade live with me, and you also get access to my advanced volatility scanner. You also get access to my Philakone's course version 3.0, mastering the day trading markets, and we're gonna work together as a group in my elite tier group to join it. So make sure you guys take a look at the link below if you're interested in that. Not only that, I'm looking to pick up one additional client where I can help you manage your portfolio if your portfolio is over $250,000. What I can tell you is this, that if you have a portfolio and it's managed well, seeing a 5x to a 7x to a 10x return, it's not a problem at all, but it needs to be managed accordingly with very good timing. So come trust me, somebody that's been in crypto for 9 years, and bam, guys, congratulations again to the all-time high. I will see you in the next video. And if you enjoy this video, to show support, all you got to do is just subscribe to me already and also like it as well. And if you haven't followed me on Twitter for the latest updates, where I'm constantly updating you guys with the best news, make sure you're following me on Twitter as well. Have a great day.